guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Audi of Wesley Chapel because guess what? We're gonna have some performance fun out of this car. This is a 2020 Audi RS3. Before we dive into this RS3, let's talk about what does RS mean. RS stands for Racing Sport. That is the branch of Audi that handles all their Le Mans racers when they were racing at the 24 Hours Le Mans, their endurance sports car race cars like the Audi R8, and of course, even before that, their rally racing. Such a rich history in rally racing, especially with their Quattro all-wheel drive system. This Audi RS3 is the A3, but pumped with all that great DNA from all those race victories, 24-hour Le Mans victories, and world championships. One thing is for certain, this RS3 is about that compact car size, but bringing big performance and also the quality luxury that you expect from this famous German brand. So let's go ahead, dive into this 2020 Audi RS3 and see if it is the perfect compact luxury performance sedan. Right off the bat, the lines. When you see an Audi, very, very distinct lines, and it all starts at the front with the headlight housing. These headlights, full LED, that technology was actually designed by Audi during the 24-hour Le Mans races going back quite a few years, and now it's full on their production lineup. Full LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals. I really like the way they added some extra design into the headlight housing and how it integrates nicely into the front fascia. Of course, this being a German car, you see this a lot on those luxury European vehicles. You have your headlight washers that are gonna pop out. We drop down and guess what? We have full functionality. You have this massive lower corner air intake, obviously one on each side. And then you're also gonna have another side air curtain that's gonna help flow air. And then on top of it, this air intake that's a little bit more inward to the main grille. So lots of functionality and lots of work has been gone and done to the front fascia to help with airflow, because airflow is not just for cooling, it's also for downforce and stability at speed. I like the gloss black, and I love the way they have a nice little extension right here on the corner. Now, as we come across that massive open grille, this has become synonymous with the Audi brand, that massive open grille area. This particular one has the blacked out badging. So you have your blacked out, the 4 rings of Auto Union, those 4 German brands coming together during the World Depression. Quattro, it's an Italian word, but it means 4 in Italian, all-wheel drive. Love the way they have the lower lip extension here that's separate from the main grille, your RS3 badge. So this is what you want to look for when you see an Audi performance vehicle, because that lets you know it's the tip top of that pinnacle, because it goes, this model goes A3, S3, which gives you a little bit of sport and performance, and then RS3 is the whole kitchen sink. As we go up onto the hood, I really love the way that the hood kind of just meets with the grille. The front fascia does not actually go up onto the hood area. Nice, sharp creases in the hood to give it that aggressive stance. And that's the thing, is that normally an A3, they're a good looking car. Some people might call them cute. This, after it's been done with the RS tweaking, really looks aggressive, very muscular. Now, as we come around the bend, love the very nice body line they put all the way around the fender here. And then here's what we're working on wheel and tire setup. This is a 19-inch wheel, gloss black with the machined aluminum. You can see the massive rotors. Now that rotor is over 14 inches in diameter, and then check out the caliper. That's the size of Ronald McDonald's head. It's gonna clamp down on that rotor. They're 2-piece rotors, so that's gonna help with cooling. Plus, they are cross-drilled and ventilated. If you see in the surface rust here, this car has been sitting outside for the past week or so. That's just surface rust. It comes right off. So don't think, oh, Audi, rusty rotors or anything like that. It's been sitting by some sprinklers and whatnot, so that's gonna happen. But I love on the wheels the way they have the Audi Sport signature name on them. And this is actually a lighter wheel than your standard cast aluminum wheel. And if you're wondering, well, what's the size of this tire? First of all, this looks like a rubber band just wrapped around this 19-inch wheel. It's a 255, so 255 on the width, and this is a 30 series sidewall, very, very low sidewall, and then of course that all-wheel drive getting the traction to the ground. Now, as we go down the side, you can see the strong belt line goes down the whole side of the car. You're gonna have your blacked out mirror caps. You get a nice oversized sunroof. Here comes the zonk. What's going on back here? You have your black shark fin antenna. I wish they would have blacked out the rest of this roof. I think we would both agree that would look a lot sexier, a lot cleaner, and more finished. You're gonna have gloss black around the window treatment, and you can see on the RS3 just how far that lower sill extends out. It's all for aerodynamic efficiency. We keep working our way back. You're gonna get those same great tires at the back, really, really nice, clean setup with the rotors and everything. And then when we get to the tail end, you're gonna have a nice trunk lid spoiler. So it's gloss black, very, very nice kick up, gonna give us some downforce. I love the way that Audi does their taillights. Full LED with the LED turn signals, your RS3 badge, you got the 4 rings, all blacked out. And then of course, if you're gonna have that blacked out, you're gonna have your RS styled massive oval tip exhaust with a beautiful diffuser. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this RS3. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You have one massive hydraulic hood strut. Underneath that hood is an inline 5 turbocharged engine. The only vehicle sold in the United States besides the Audi TT-RS to have your inline 5-cylinder. I love the red trim that they put on the engine cover, your RS badge, the Audi rings, really looks absolutely beautiful. Now, besides looks, does she go? Yes. That's a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 5, 400 horsepower, 354 pound-feet of torque. It's all gonna get routed through a 7-speed DCT transmission. That's that S-tronic transmission. That's the fancy name that Audi gives their DCT. This car will rocket 0 to 60, 3.9 seconds. It weighs 3,593 pounds. And if you're wondering, well, what's the top speed? It is speed limited to 155. It's electronically limited to 155. MPGs, 19 in the city, 28 on the highway. But that's what I love about Audi, especially compared to the other German brands. They just do things a little differently, and it really makes a lot of sense to enthusiasts like you and I. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this RS3 and see what the inline 5 sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2020 Audi RS3. Audi does some of the best interiors, probably my favorite. If you were to ask me, Joe, especially compared to the other German brands, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, which one's your favorite interior? Audi blows them out of the water. I know you're probably wondering, well, Joe, how much is this price? It's got to be pricey. MSRP on this particular one is right at $60,800. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, I love the door panel work that they did. You have soft material at the top. Look at the door handle there, how they hollowed out that center section. Just very tasteful, some beautiful carbon fiber. And then, of course, if you're gonna have carbon fiber, you gotta have the Alcantara material on the back portion of the door panel. Love the RS red stitching and the nice leather on the armrest. You even have a pocket down there for some Bavarian pastries. And this one has the B&O sound system, optional sound system, gonna give you some good tunes, but to be honest with you, that inline 5 is all the music that I need. Soft touch, love the red trim around those nicely shaped AC vents, the carbon fiber, the Quattro badge. Now you're probably wondering, well, Joe, what goes here? Let me fire it up and show you what happens. So when we fire up the RS3, your infotainment system pops up. That is an 8-inch infotainment system screen. And what that's gonna do is, which I think it has some PDI film. So if you're wondering, Joe, what's that white thing? Let me just show you, that's just the PDI film. Nothing to worry about, but we'll let that turn on. Is it touchscreen? No. You can touch it, but it doesn't do anything. I'll show you how to navigate through that in a few seconds, but you got your 2 AC vents in the center, more carbon fiber. We have some toggle switches. Now here's what's interesting, is I could turn off the screen, but I can't get the screen on the 2020. You cannot have the screen go back down. To me, that's a zonk. I wish the screen didn't even exist. And you'll see why once you come to the business end, but I'll turn it back on. You have your different drive modes, which you could go and select using your toggle switch right here. We're gonna leave it in dynamic. Opens up that active exhaust. I just heard it get a little bit louder. You can shut off that traction control. You have your dual climate, heated seats, but no ventilated seats. At $60,000, that is a major zonk. You do have a USB and a 12 volt, a nice little tray here to put some Slim Jims. Here is your RS3 key fob. It's the older style key fob. They have not majorly updated the RS3 in a couple years, but still functional. It's a little thick and a little heavy, but you know what? You're in an RS model, and that's all that matters. Alcantara, the stitch work is to die for. You have Alcantara on the shift knob, RS badging, and if you're wondering, well Joe, why they call it Alcantara? Is that the name of the material? It's actually the name of the company that produces the material. The company is actually called Alcantara. Alcantara, that's not that guy Al that lives down the street that's from Italy in your neighborhood. Love the leather, the red stitch work. You have your volume knob, your start stop button. You see this guy right here, this knob? This is gonna allow you to go through your infotainment system. So if you scroll, you can see how easy it is to go through your different settings. I could go into navigation. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Let me get that out of there. There's your navigation screen. Like I said, that white bar is just the film protecting the screen so it does not get scratched. Let me throw the car in reverse just to show you what we're working with. Screen, you got your trajectory, you got your sensors around the vehicle that's gonna let you know if you're getting close so that you don't scuff the paint on this beautiful car. Coming back to the center console area, flat black, which is I like. No fingerprints, electric e-brake. This is as hard as a German rock, this armrest, but I love the stitching. You open it up and guess what? You got wireless charging and another USB and an aux jack. Plus, I don't know, I can't show you because of the angle, but you have a little tiny cargo net in here to put like a pack of gum. So if you're gonna pick somebody up and say you ate some onion rings, get to that gum ASAP before they come in and you're kissing them for your date, because you don't want to have that onion breath, especially in your RS3. Come on. Seats, right out of a race car. One piece back. Love the stitch work, that beautiful design, the RS. It drops down. The bolstering is nice. It's all manual controls though, so that really is the big zonk, is that manual controls for the passenger and the driver. I'm sure if you ask somebody at Audi, they'd say, oh, it's all about saving weight. But then you do have a little bit larger sunroof, so if it's about saving weight, that would make no sense having the sunroof. But look at this, RS branding on the seat belts with the red stripes. Very nice touch. I got plenty of headroom, plenty of shoulder room, and you know what? The bolstering is just right. It's the Goldilocks of bolstering for a performance seat. Come on over to the business end though. I want to show you behind the wheel of this RS3. All right guys, here we are, business time. I love the RS3 badging. You do have your manual controls. Now the lumbar is electric, so that's the one nice touch, but everything else is manual. The pedals are spot on the money. You got your brushed aluminum with the rubber so that you don't slip. Make sure you're wearing your rubber. And then steering wheel, straight out of one of the Le Mans race cars. Love the steering wheel. Flat bottom. Alcantara is to die for. The crisscross contrast stitching. The horn button just looks good. The gloss black. You got your RS badging. Large paddles on the back of the steering wheel, but the only zonk is they're plastic. They should have made these out of magnesium or titanium, even nickel or copper or something. It would have been nice to have metal paddles, but they are a good size. But the big plus for any Audi is this beautiful 12.3-inch virtual cockpit. This is why I think the infotainment screen should just be removed. All the information is perfectly placed right there. You got your navigation. I could change the view, which is really easy. You just hit that, but look at that. You don't need an infotainment system screen. You got it all right here. Very nicely laid out. We hit it again. You got your tach right in the center. RS3 signature there. This car is nothing but the business. But why don't we check out the back seat and see how your passengers are gonna love crapping themselves as you're hitting your apexes on your favorite twisty road. All right, guys, backseat time in the RS3. The great news is, even for somebody 6 feet tall like myself, compared to other compact luxury cars, like say the new Cadillac CT4V, you got a lot more room back here. That's just plenty. The way they kind of hollow out the headliner up here makes life a lot nicer. These beautiful one-piece backs. Look at this. I just want to rub my hand on this all day long. Cargo nets, I could do without. Listen, if you're bringing snacks in my RS3, I'm going to kick you the hell out. So get rid of the cargo nets so that we could that just feels good to do. 2 AC vents. You got 2 USB, which is very, very nice. And like I said, I did not move the seat. Seat is in Joe Rady's 6-foot tall position. Look at the amount of leg room I have back here. It's actually not bad for a compact car. Plus you're gonna get the same sexy seat belt, I like that, and the same beautiful stitch work, which is wonderful. And this leather is so soft. Armrest, let's see how it goes. If I could, there we go. So the good news is, here's the good news. The good news is the people up there, they're gonna be suffering just like you, because this armrest is as hard as an old German donut that's been sitting out in the sun. The reason why it's that hard is that you lift it up, look at that nice felt line. You could pour your M&Ms in here, German M&Ms of course, and then you have your 2 cup holders, boom. And you could actually put a little bit larger vessel of liquid in those cup holders, but I'll close it up, close the door, put it back. Let's go ahead, check out that trunk space and see how much room you have in the RS3. All right guys, time to check out what we could put in the trunk of the RS3. You open it up. The nice news is you got a pretty good opening. The bad news is it's not very deep. Remember, this has all-wheel drive, so that's gonna take up some of that space that makes the cargo floor come up, but the seats are gonna fold down. That's gonna give you more room, and you have the obligatory area to store your German Twinkies in this little cubby over here. It actually has a nice little bowl of an area where it'll stay in place so it's not sliding around. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the part that you've been waiting for. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this RS3 for a spin. All right guys, we left Audi of Wesley Chapel. We're in the 2020 RS3. Right away, this car just feels different in a very, very good way. The seats are amazing. Steering wheel with the Alcantara and just the way it's shaped looks drop dead sexy. Inside the vehicle, it's nice and quiet. And for a compact, up front, you have a lot of room. Out back, it's a little tighter, but still, compared to some of the competitors, you're still coming out on top with this RS3. Looking out over the windshield, nice clear view. The only thing is that infotainment system screen. I really don't know its purpose, especially with the virtual cockpit. It just doesn't make sense to me, but everything else is really, really well laid out in here, and I think you're really gonna like that, especially from a performance driving aspect. All right guys, time to see how this RS3 performs. Now the first go around, I'm going to keep it in automatic mode. That 7-speed DCT is gonna ship by itself. I'm left foot braking, on throttle, here we go, drops down. That's when it just kicks in and the shifts are very, very fast. Great sound by that inline 5 turbocharged engine, and the front end grip is unbelievable. Look at this, back on throttle. Wow, sounds like a bunch of killer bees coming after you. Look at this thing, wow, the brakes, good feedback into this little roundabout area here. Look at this, yeah. I love the way the chassis is set up in this car. They really did their homework. It's not just about adding a bunch of horsepower to a car. It's about doing all the different bits. You know, you got your adaptive dampers that have been fine-tuned for this particular setup. You have everything, the wheels, the brakes, the tires. It really just comes into a nice orchestra that plays a symphony like you wouldn't believe. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shifter, putting it over to the right. Now I'm in manual mode. We're in dynamic, obviously. First gear, on throttle, here we go. Great sound. Shifts are so fast. Look at this, this is nice. On the brakes, wow, the initial bite is so aggressive in a good way. Downshift, come around. Back on throttle, look at this. Nice. Super, super smooth. That's the great thing about this 7-speed DCT. The upshifts, the downshifts are so smooth, so crisp. You get a little pop coming out of the back from the exhaust every time you shift, and it's just very, very hunkered down. That Quattro system works like a champ. All right, guys, let's have a little bit more fun. Let's learn about this RS3. On throttle, you wait a little bit for the boost, but once it kicks in, wow. This thing, here we go. First roundabout on the brakes, nice. Downshift, look at this. Look at this, wow. Like a rocket, like a rocket. On the brakes feel phenomenal. Turning is great. The back comes out just a little bit, let you square off the turn and just point you, angle you right out so you're fired like a cruise missile. Back on the brakes, look at this. Turning is so crisp, so nice. Back on the throttle, yeah! Really, really nice. All right, guys, we're gonna go one last time through the roundabouts. I'm gonna keep quiet. I know some people have been asking me for that one run where I just am a little silent. So if you're ready, I'm ready. First gear, on throttle, here we go. Yeah, so you can clearly see the chassis is just so well balanced on this car that it really allows just the right amount of movement. You know, everybody thinks you need to be stuck to the ground to run your fastest times or to have that quick pace through your favorite sets of bends near your house. You don't want that. You want a little bit of give. You want a little bit of play. That way you could pivot the car under throttle or under braking to allow you to get that better line, whether it's an exit line or an entry line into the corner. And that's where all that hard work that Audi has done through their racing, through their heritage, with the 24 Hours Le Mans and everything else, it really comes out in a big way in this RS3. And then here we are driving on the highway. What's wonderful about this car, this is an everyday driver. You could have your performance cake and you could eat it too in a nice everyday setting. Pick the kids up from school, go to work every day with a big crap eating grin on your face. That's the kind of smile you're gonna have driving this Audi RS3. But we're gonna go ahead, hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the RS3 is about. We're gonna get back to Audi Wesley Chapel, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another amazing day here at Audi Wesley Chapel. Definitely want to thank Adam, Chris, Mike, and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2020 RS3. Is it the perfect compact luxury sports sedan? I'm gonna say it's pretty damn close. Nice to have that all-wheel drive, and I think one of my favorite parts is having the uniqueness of an inline-5 turbocharged engine with 400 horsepower. Great driving dynamics. And even though it hasn't been majorly redesigned a few years, still a style that stands out and screams, hey, I'm an Audi. But if it's cars like these that you want to keep seeing on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner, getting this RS3 on camera. Thank you, Tom, for your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.